J'ai l'impression que ça va être un soir assez calme. Alors, du coup, c'était cette partie-là, je crois.
You're on a path in the woods.
Et du coup, est-ce qu'on peut voir où on en était? Non, il n'y a pas un résumé. Mais il me semble qu'on avait juste fini le rasoir et avant on avait fait un autre truc aussi. Donc on a deux réceptacles. Voilà, c'est le mot que je cherchais. Ah, faut peut-être que je vous monte un peu le son d'ailleurs. Allez, on a dit vive la révolution. On défonce la princesse. On la tue, on la tue.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Ok, je remets.
You'll find the princess within.
D'habitude, on est à 0,8. Et là, j'étais à 0,5, c'est pour ça. J'avais mis assez fort pour les voix. Et si tu me dis que c'est bien...
On
connaît, on connaît. Je ferais bien un truc un peu vache. C'est genre d'y aller sans couteau, de récupérer le couteau et de la poignarder dans le dos. Allez.
The door to the basement, her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
Is hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Je pense qu'elle va être bien vénère par contre dans la deuxième partie si jamais on fait ça.
It's all part of the manipulation.
Voilà, parfait. Mentir, je suis là pour te sauver.
Really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
Ah oui, mais attendez. Si on part du principe qu'on ment, on l'a déjà imaginé, mais pas dans le bon sens du coup, non?
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
J'ai peur qu'en mentant, en fait, ça a l'effet inverse.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
En même temps, normalement, c'est notre perception de la princesse qui fait que là, c'est la perception de ce qu'on va faire, mais notre perception est la même.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
Par contre, je me demande... Nous, effectivement, on a choisi l'option mentir. Mais comment le narrateur sait qu'on ment?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Visiblement, il sait pas assez qu'on manque.
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Non, mais
Maybe
t'inquiète.
it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
Okay, I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out.
Ça, on l'a déjà fait.
You try the door. Your shouts. You're here to slay. You make it easier for everyone. Look at the mess.
I heard the
Âme
door
sensible
slam.
s'abstenir.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates
Voilà.
before raising her arm to her mouth as she rips her flesh from her bone. It's the blade from up. Or we could use. You won't like what happens.
Et cette fois, on va la slay.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade
Oh,
down.
c'est horrible. N'empêche, j'étais en train de se bouffer. Oh.
Finally,
Elle se bouffait vivante et nous on l'a trahie.
The wound drives her to the ground.
Oh, j'ai presque de la peine.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner.
Merde, elle sait se défendre. Putain,
With the ferocity of a cornered predator.
on est con quand même, hein. C'est-à-dire que même en l'ayant pas surprise, quand elle nous fait 100% confiance, on n'arrive pas.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure.
Mais si le héros hésite, on va hésiter.
Waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm.
Mais c'est devenu une bête. Ces ongles là, ça fait griffe un peu.
Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw.
Ah, c'est marrant, j'ai déjà vu cette succession d'images, mais pas avec la même apparence de princesse.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Non, 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 non. J'ai pas envie de la princesse. Genre fantôme. Nous, on finit le job. On l'a détruit.
You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me?
De toute façon, elle peut pas nous tuer.
Not making it out of here alive.
Enfin, elle peut nous tuer, mais ça sert à rien. Donc.
Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so surprised. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons. And then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further.
En même temps, le coup d'avant, on s'est battu pendant quoi? Je sais même plus combien de réincarnations.
You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Non.
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark.
And
And
you
you
die.
die.
C'est bon, je commence à m'y faire. Ah, la sorcière! J'imaginais qu'elle allait évoluer dans quelque chose de plus bestial.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to...
Non, allez, on fonce tout droit.
a warning. She will lie. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done.
Je sais pas si on a déjà eu l'opportuniste.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth.
Youpi!
The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Non.
Silence, I see. Don't think I've forgotten about you. I recognized the sound of your nervous little footsteps as soon as they came into my home. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
Dab?
She must have you confused with someone else.
Non.
She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation.
Non.
You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below.
Oui, donc la sorcière, elle ressemble à une bête, hein. Elle a clairement des pattes de bête, une queue de bête, une position de bête.
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
Parce qu'un être humain ne se déplace pas avec une main dans le dos. Et qu'on a essayé de la buter une fois.
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you?
Yep.
That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us.
Je suis juste pas sûre de pouvoir la tuer là, maintenant, tout de suite. Physiquement, j'ai l'impression qu'elle est au-dessus de moi. théoriquement, tout ce qu'on souhaite, ça marche, mais en même temps, on contrôle pas complètement ce que souhaite notre personnage, la perception qu'il a, donc.
Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy.
Nope. C'est la run où on la tue.
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Ah, on peut tenter le 1 partout. J'ai clairement pas envie de lui donner mon couteau. J'ai pas non plus envie de l'abandonner ici. Du coup, je pense que on va faire une jolie tirade parce qu'on est un héros et qu'un héros fait une tirade et on va la tuer. Ah, quoique, le côté et je pense que vous pouvez être un danger pour le monde. Allez, je la fume sans rien dire.
Without uttering a word, you charge the princess.
Pas envie de lui dire pour la destruction du monde.
So much for finding an easy way out. I can't believe you're making us work for it.
Better a violent fool than a plotting coward. Better for me, at least.
De toute façon, on sait très bien que elle peut nous tuer autant de fois qu'elle veut, ça changera rien parce qu'elle s'enfuira pas plus.
As you close the distance, readying your strike, the princess's chain falls from her wrist.
Ah! Ah! Elle était libre.
She takes advantage of your split second of surprise and throws a fistful of dirt into your eyes.
Oh, le coup de fils de...
She could have gotten out of
Poulpe.
those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. It's a shame we're playing opposite teams. This is why you couldn't just abandon her here. Left to her own devices, she would always find a way out. Now stop her.
You must have known I would be ready for you. Deep in your heart, you know the same things about me I know about you. We're both so very awful.
As you brush the silt from your eyes, the princess tackles you, flattening you against the dirt floor.
We were always going to kill each other here, weren't we? I can't trust you, and you can't trust me, and those doubts spin and spin and spin into hate.
She buries her teeth deep into your chest, tearing
Elle est en train de me bouffer.
Stab her in the back. In for a penny, right? Why not? As the princess rips meat from bone, you plunge your weapon into her unprotected back.
Ha, you bastard! Even face to face, you find a way to stab me in the back. I know you. You're hideous, absolutely wretched, just like me.
Maybe we are the same. So what? Throw her off us. Kick her in the shins. We don't have to fight so dirty. Of course we do. Fighting clean won't help us win. It takes a wretch to know a wretch, and we're all at the bottom of the barrel here. There's no point in pretending otherwise. Are we? At the bottom of the barrel. We've got dirt in our eyes and a chunk of us chewed out. If that's not the bottom of the barrel, what is? No arguments here. You're doing great. Keep playing dirty if that's what it takes. But if we win, we won't be at the bottom anymore. We'll have climbed a little higher. And once we start climbing, well, who knows where we'll stop? You'll stop right here if you keep daydreaming. Don't let yourself get distracted thinking about what comes after.
Je vais te dire la même chose que le narrateur. C'est bien de discuter, mais au bout d'un moment, faut peut-être combattre. Genre, sinon elle va continuer de nous manger.
None of us ever said we stopped fighting.
Ah!
What a low and vicious fight it is. Eyes gouged, skin scratched bloody, hair ripped and nails broken. Every rule there ever was in the book of honourable combat. Both you and the princess have broken a dozen times over. That's nice and all, but are we winning?
Une bonne question.
Nobody's winning. I thought playing dirty was supposed to give you the upper hand, but I suppose that doesn't work if you both sink to the same lows. Still, at least you're not losing.
Ça va encore finir sur une égalité.
The princess cackles maniacally as the fracas continues. But behind her cackle, you hear the low groan of warping wood.
What?
Wait, what's going on? We're establishing a newer, better packing order. No, the groaning thing. Why is the wood making noise?
Ouais, pourquoi?
Who cares about the groan? It's just a sound. Things make sounds all the time. I care about the groan. Doesn't that mean something bad is happening? Oh, yes, well, I'm afraid that's the sound of the basement getting smaller.
Ah!
Do you hear that, you pathetic wretch? Those are the roots of the wild, and they're coming to choke the breath from your lungs and squeeze the life out of you.
Excuse me, what? You and the princess disengage for a brief moment, just long enough to get your bearings. Behind you, the basement door has been sealed over, thick roots barring your only exit from the dirt pit. And slowly, but very perceptibly, the roots are closing in on you both.
That's right, they're coming for you. And they won't stop until there's nothing left down here but them.
Ouais, mais du coup, ils vont nous écraser tous les deux.
As long as you suffer while you die, I'll gladly suffer with you. Especially if I get to see it happen.
Eh bah, soit. Partons sur du un partout,
I
hein.
believe she'd kill us both just to spite me. See? This is exactly why you've been tasked to slay her. She's an antisocial monster who'll gladly burn the whole world for her satisfaction.
Plus compliqué que ça, hein.
The roots grow ever closer. We know, we can see them.
Eh, c'est pas grave, alors je me bats. Je me bats jusqu'au bout. Ça se trouve, si on la tue, ça s'arrête, hein.
You attack the princess once more, and once more the two of you fall into a vicious brawl. The basement continues to shrink as you fight, but neither of you pay it any more mind. Not until it's too late. The roots twist around you both, binding your limbs and rendering you helpless. As your fates close in, all you can do is watch her, and all she can do is watch you. At first it's almost gentle. The two of you lift it delicately off the ground. But the cradle of the growing roots soon gives way to tightness. That tightness gives way to bulging pressure as they begin to constrict. The sound of creaking wood is drowned out by the snaps and pops of your bones, pain flooding your senses as you feel your skin deform, being shaped unnaturally by the living basement. Tears well up in the princess's eyes, her own bones splintering and flesh swelling with trapped blood. But still, she smiles through it all.
I can't wait to do this again, you wretched little thing. I hate you, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
The pressure is
Oh.
unbearable. You can't breathe, your vision swimming with red, your head pounding as everything tightens. And then you pop. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ok, alors... Comment on va la tuer, celle-là? Parce que j'ai l'impression que c'est parti pour le rasoir, c'est-à-dire que ça va augmenter, 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 et à un moment, juste... ça marche plus. Mais est-ce qu'on a un moyen de la tuer? Oh, waouh!
We are a path in the
What?
woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge.
C'est la voix de l'entité, ça?
His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that?
Bah... Pour moi, c'est la voix de l'entité, mais je comprends pas ce qu'elle fait là. On n'a pas encore fini si elle est le narrateur.
That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third?
Pour cette réincarnation, oui.
That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Sure, there's no reason to keep secrets. Someone decided to go in guns blazing last time, and that someone got us killed. And what should we have done? Let you draw things out with all that conniving? Everyone knows a straight fight is best. It's honest. There's no need to bicker about it. I wasn't trying to start anything. I don't mind what happened to us. I kind of like it now that we aren't actively being crushed. Yeah, now that you mention it, this isn't so bad.
C'est quand même un peu bizarre, hein.
And it's not like the fight is what killed us anyway, it was the cabin. No point worrying about who charged who when that place ground us all into paste in the end, the princess included.
It was a fitting end. I'm sorry if it hurt, but doesn't this make it all seem so small?
Je comprends même pas comment on en est arrivé à là de la princesse. Oh là. La musique elle vient de changer par contre.
I see. So the cabin ground you into paste and now you're convinced you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
Ouais, il y a un truc qui me perturbe, c'est... Est-ce qu'elle était censée me détester? Comment on est passé de la haine à ça?
We can't
Oh.
go back to that. We can't go back to the doubting and the hatred and the schemes. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Oh oh, j'ai fait bêtise.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now?
Mhm.
So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
Spoken like, honestly, a real puppet master. Have we considered that maybe she's the one trying to trick us?
I'm not.
But there's a feeling, isn't there?
Elle les entend?
Petty feeling she mentioned, it is fuzzy, but it's there. Almost like she still hates us.
En fait, ce qui est bizarre, Kero, c'est genre... C'est censé se baser sur notre perception, entre guillemets, qu'on a d'elle. Oh, j'ai du mal à me figurer cette perception-là. Mais, si on est persuadé qu'elle nous déteste, comme ce qu'on vient de dire, est-ce que ça va pas faire ressortir celle qui nous déteste? C'est ce que dit le héros, c'est comme si elle nous détestait toujours.
It feels mutual.
Pas qu'elle nous déteste toujours, c'est que si on est persuadé qu'elle nous déteste toujours, elle nous déteste toujours.
Please, stop. if you pay attention to that feeling, will fall apart.
Est-ce que je veux vraiment une fin comme ça?
Don't look at it!
She's trying to turn you away from the truth. There's something she doesn't want you
Ah.
to see. I think you already know you have to look at it. Hold yourself together. We're no strangers to effort. We can push this back down. Something might do us in eventually, but I'll be damned if that something is a thought.
Allez.
Please, don't make us remember how we were.
And just like that, you start to fall apart. Right, she really does hate us, and we hate her. It hurts thinking about us as separate things, but we're separate. We can't hate ourselves. I love me. We never got to see the end of that fight, did we? And we can't both be winners. One of us has to beat the other.
Eh, j'aime bien cette brutalité.
I don't want to remember what it felt like to be killed. It was so much nicer when it didn't feel like it mattered. And yet you keep remembering. You remember the loathing and animosity you've shared with the princess, the pain and the anger and the betrayal. You start to remember something else, too. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
Maybe bygones can't be bygones. I don't know why I ever wanted to share a body with you, of all things. It's like my very soul reeks of yours. That was horrible. This is better, finally. I'll be able to hurt you like you deserve. I wish I didn't have to.
C'est bizarre comme cette princesse a deux voix, dont une qui ressemble à l'entité.
Some division, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were.
Oui.
A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole.
Alors normalement c'est moi qui approche de la cabine, pas l'inverse, mais...
And then you find
Oh,
yourself,
wow.
blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
Mais elle peut pas combattre. C'est
Kill me
nul.
then, if you hate me so much. Just get it over with.
This doesn't feel like a fight. This isn't what I wanted. Where's the victory in this?
Bah ouais.
Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it. I mean, what's the point of being king of the hill if there's no one around to be better than? We'd just be sitting on a hill. Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to.
Slay the princess.
You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart. And then you strike.
I'm sorry.
Oh mais non, elle me fait de la peine. Oh non. Je préférais les rasoirs. Là, elle m'a fait de la peine presque.
She's gone. And is that a... This... Screw them. If they think it's bad.
Alors à quoi on ressemble? Ok.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready. I await your return,
Je vais pas trop lui parler, histoire de continuer sur le principe de juste la buter.
We will meet again.
Mais
Your honor,
c'est
you're here.
triste.
That's the spirit.
Vive la
You
révolution!
make your a warning. She will lie. We're not gonna ignore. The interior of
Bah, on l'a déjà trahi. Du coup, la retrahir, je vois pas trop. Du coup, on
You
va
take the
la
blade.
prendre et puis on verra ce que ça fait,
her
hein.
voice carries up. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is... So, you should just drop it.
On
She's
a
unarmed.
vu. Ok, donc là, on peut pas la tuer. Mais on peut discuter.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Attendez. C'est quoi le premier mot ici? Je connais pas. Ah, c'est genre loucher. Ouais, un peu nul. Bah non, on va la slay. Voilà, et on va se faire défoncer.
Clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer.
Ça, c'est
You
la
can feel
première fois
bone
qu'on est
for
mort.
bone.
Hein.
Shit, that hurts. Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike, your blade slashes through the air again.
Non, là on
and
se
again,
défend.
and her fists
Ok.
connect with your body as many times or more. We can still turn this around.
Finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. Excuse me, do you think this is what I wanted to happen? Can you not feel all those ruptured
Ça, on a
orbitals
déjà
and
fait.
crash for the final time?
Oh,
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things.
Everything goes dark. And you die.
You're on a path
Ok.
in the woods.
On a débloqué un
And at the
nouveau
end
chemin.
of your here,
On va ignorer le narrateur comme d'hab. Hein.
she will lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Are you sure? The point, the princess, Chris.
Je sais plus si on l'avait déjà eu l'adversaire. Enfin, je crois que c'est ça que ça veut dire. Je me souviens déjà plus du titre.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would
Alors
suggest.
ça me dit rien.
Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Ok.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries...
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
Vas-y, je suis en mode chevalier.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight.
Je suis là pour avoir un good fight.
As you descend the
Oh,
final
wow.
step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
Mais ça, c'est pas un chevalier, ça c'est juste un démon.
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Slay the princess.
Good. With a singular focus, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count.
Allez, boum.
Oh, we'll make it count, all right. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing. We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm.
Moi je dis, faut être sûr de soi. Du coup,
The princess's grin widens as the two of you push against each other, her fiery eyes and masochistic glee practically lighting up the dreary cave.
ok.
Yes. You get it, don't you? Nothing exists outside of us. It's just you and me, dying and coming back, clashing against each other. Forever.
Ah oui, non, je pensais pas à ça, je pensais juste à un combat.
That's not what's going on. There's an entire world at stake here. Yes, the fate of the world doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is this fight. The only thing that matters is getting stronger. And the only way to get stronger is to win, even if it takes us forever to get there. Your balance is suddenly thrown off as the princess pulls you into her knee. It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. As she strikes you again, you hear the whine of straining metal, and then a snap. It would appear that she's loose. We're fine! You barely have enough time to notice before the princess follows up and smashes her forehead against yours. Your grip loosens from the impact, the blade still wedged in her arm as you tumble to the cold stone floor. I said we're fine. I didn't say you weren't fine. I was just describing what happened. You might not have said as much, but you certainly implied it. It really doesn't matter. The princess glances down at the blade embedded in her arm, and with near total ignorance to pain, slides it out of its sinewy prison.
You forgot this.
T'inquiète, on va t'écraser.
She tosses it at your feet.
Ouais, non, moi j'attaque.
You and the princess attack each other once again, each of you dealing a single, terrible, lethal blow. Wait, does that mean we're dead? Or rather, about to be dead. As your blade pierces her sternum, the princess buries her fist into the soft meat of your organs. You feel a few horrifically painful pops, a gush of fluid, and it's over. It's finally over.
J'ai très envie que le têtu, là où je sais plus comment il s'appelle, dise non.
No, it's not. We're just getting started. But it
Parfait.
is over. Dead is dead. I know this isn't the happiest ending for you, but you saved the entire world from ruin. There are few better endings than that. Well, are you going to listen to him? Or are you going to listen to me? Get up. Wait,
Get up.
no, that can't be right.
Bien sûr que si, c'est right. On n'est pas mort. Si on veut pas être mort, on n'est pas mort.
And you push yourself back to your feet. Alive. Ha! I told you this wasn't over. What about her? The blade went right through her heart. What about her? If we're fine, then she's fine.
Alors ça, par contre, c'est pas la bonne logique.
Oh, she's dead. She has to be. Right. We're all shit out of luck, aren't we? I knew it. I told you we should all believe in her. This is perfect. The princess rises from the ground, staggering slightly, one hand wrapped around the hilt of the blade still buried in her heart.
We don't even need to start over anymore, do we? Let's go again.
C'est vrai que théoriquement, tant que je le veux, on meurt pas.
She pulls the weapon from her chest, barely wincing, and hurls it at your feet. You know what to do. Again! But she came back. What's the point of fighting her if she can just do that? All of you need to settle down. This whole situation is coming dangerously close to untethering. She clearly never actually died. You just missed her heart, that's all. Oh, we just missed her heart. Oh, of course, that's all. You were the one who said we hit her heart. You were the one who said it was finally over. Well, I guess I had it wrong. You guess you had it wrong? Aren't you supposed to know everything? I never said I knew everything.
Allez, j'attaque.
With an unbreakable determination, you snatch the blade from the floor and stumble back to your feet. Both you and the princess quake with adrenaline as your eyes lock across the basement floor and share a knowing look. Free from hesitation, you close the distance, both you and the princess aiming to end each other. Your blade digs into her neck, grinding against her vertebrae as her fist connects with your body. The impact forces the air from your lungs, stars dancing in front of your eyes as you fail to keep your bearing. You both collapse to the ground before either of you has a chance to survey the damage.
On n'est pas mort.
And then we get...
Voilà.
Yes. And then you get up.
That was a good one. More.
J'avais même pas vu qu'elle s'était libérée.
You and the princess exchange
Oh,
dozens
wow.
of devastating blows.
Oh,
Sometimes
wow.
you manage to strike first, and sometimes she tears through you before you have a chance to act. But more often than not, each of you fells the other in the same moment. And then you get up and do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. We're all still here. This is all gonna be, isn't it?
What are you waiting for? I'm right here. Do you think this is... What is this place?
Je crois que c'est la première fois qu'elle voit cet endroit.
Did we do this? Huh. I didn't think we had it in us. But I guess that stuck-up control freak was right. It's the end of the world, isn't it? It's the end of everything. Far from it. We're still here. And she's still here too.
I feel so... tired.
She's gone. And is that... This... Screw the mirror. We just need...
Alors à quoi on ressemble cette fois? Mais du coup, j'ai l'impression que notre apparence change pas en fonction des scénarios, mais juste en fonction de la progression. Parce qu'on avait fait aussi grandi et je sais plus comment ça se dit en français ça. Mais du coup, ce qui me paraît bizarre, c'est qu'on n'a pas vu le miroir avec le rasoir. Du coup, c'est comme si on avait un miroir de retard.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in
Ça, on a déjà eu.
directions that might... All of me is changing.
On a déjà eu ces dialogues-là. Du coup, les dialogues dépendent pas du réceptacle.
I will be here when it is
Je
time
suppose.
for us to meet again.
You're here.
Ok, je vais lui demander s'il y a une reward.
Your Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your a warning. She will. We're not going to ignore him. The interior.
Comment on peut la tuer d'autre? On peut essayer de la tuer alors qu'elle est en mode de maléfique. C'est-à-dire en disant qu'elle va buter le monde et tout.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it fool. Good. You're still listening to reason. She's focus on the tongue.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? That isn't a good idea.
She's right. We should. Don't you dare. It's fine. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even? I'm probably chained up in this basement, so you should just.
She's unarmed.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Je peux encore la tuer? Peut-être que vu que je lui ai parlé au début, genre va y avoir encore un truc différent? Bah go hein.
Unfortunate. A moment of distraction and hesitate. Feel holy shit, though she's unarmed. The shock of that.
Tout ça on a vu, tout ça on a vu. Ah non, je peux pas finir ce job. Je vais give up alors. Hein.
Are you serious? You lacked the will to finish the job. The princess, exhausted, chest. This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff. And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you stuck.
It's too bad. I was looking for.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ah mais si la tour, je crois que c'est ce qu'on veut. Oui, le broken, c'est ça. Tout ça on connaît. Ouais. Cette fois on va la buter.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't.
Voilà, c'est elle que je voulais tuer.
She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her.
Donc en fait, il n'y a pas besoin de savoir qu'elle va détruire le monde, il y a juste besoin d'avoir peur d'elle.
Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a type the princess tower. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
On est de retour avec la première qu'on a croisée.
You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Drop it.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
J'ai pas choisi de le dropper. Hein.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just gonna let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it.
Ah non, 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 mais moi je veux la tuer en fait. Je veux pas écouter le broken, hein. Je veux me venger de cette première game.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and You'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Non.
Oh, are you still trying
Voilà.
to define
Non.
me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle.
Oh,
and your
mais...
knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
En vrai, elle est intimidante comme ça.
The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met, nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I trust to deal.
Ah mince. Oh bah tu me diras, c'est pas plus mal de sauvegarder en vrai.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then. And there's nothing we can do to stop her now.
Si, la tuer.
He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before and she absolutely destroyed us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
Oh oh.
Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here.
Plutôt d'accord.
Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
Elle va nous faire...
As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Oh. Comment ça je peux pas dire non? Comment ça je peux pas?
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
On n'a pas fait cette fin pourtant.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
Mais pourquoi je peux pas faire le reste?
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance.
Non, non, que dalle. Que dalle.
Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
Non.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this. Oh, we'll end this all right.
Pas sûr qu'on mette fin à tout ça comme on veut.
Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Ah, voilà, slay the
Your body
princess.
is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
Non.
As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again.
Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Je veux pas.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants.
Non.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece. At least for now.
Pas sûr que ce soit le meilleur des trucs. Hein.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much.
Non.
You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next. Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
Je vais la tuer.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it.
Non.
Not as an equal.
J'ai déjà accepté
but as
dans
something
une
worthy to
précédente
be
et
called. A priest, perhaps. Or a pet.
et bon, c'est comment ça a fini. Du coup non.
Well, that's demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Mais c'est bizarre que je puisse pas résister par contre.
No. Yes, though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react.
Et
The
boum!
wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
Allez,
She
chais!
falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest.
Ouais, mais je crois qu'elle l'est. Enfin, si elle nous semble être une déesse, c'est logique qu'elle nous paraisse immense.
As you find
Uh-oh.
your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You
heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Ta mort!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest.
Oh oh.
Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact.
Salut Pesquet. Je crois qu'on s'est fait eu.
You lie there,
Ah quoique,
broken,
peut-être qu'on l'a eu.
beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
Aha.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
Bah ouais.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Je pense que si on a réussi à la planter autant de fois, c'est que le héros a pris le dessus. Hein.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together.
I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
Ah, ça va faire un partout, hein, comme d'hab.
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something. I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark.
And you die. Ah. J'ai peur.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Oh. Qu'est-ce qu'on vient de faire? Je sais pas ce qu'on vient de créer, mais c'est horrible.
I think he's upset.
Oh, la musique.
What's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was.
Alors,
Ever will be.
pour te raconter un peu l'histoire, Pesquet, à la base, on est un héros et on a comme quête de la part d'un narrateur de tuer une princesse. Et à partir de là, c'est un peu les jeux dont vous êtes le héros, donc on a tous les choix possibles et imaginables. Donc, il y a énormément de chemins. Bah, c'est pas... Ça dépend. Disons que là, on a pris un chemin qui a fait qu'on... En fait, les chemins sont conditionnés par ta manière de percevoir la princesse. C'est-à-dire que si ton personnage est convaincu que la princesse est gentille et que tes actions, du coup, reflètent ce que pense le personnage, parce que, il pense pas vraiment, quoi, elle va être gentille. Si à l'inverse, tes actions montrent que le personnage est convaincu qu'elle est méchante, elle va être méchante. Et effectivement, là, au départ, on a dit qu'on était venu pour la tuer, sauf qu'on avait peur d'elle, donc elle nous a tués. Vu qu'on avait peur d'elle et qu'elle nous avait tués, on a encore eu plus peur d'elle et on l'a élevée au rang de dieu. Mais on s'est quand même battu. Et du coup, c'est devenu ça.
You're damn right we did. You'll get over it. Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed.
Et on a des voix dans notre tête aussi. Ça, c'est les voix dans notre tête. Qui influent aussi, en plus de nos choix sur le monde.
Alright, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path. And at the end of that path is a... If this is
Oh
just
mince, j'ai skip le dialogue. Oui, c'est pas vraiment un chemin dans les bois, effectivement.
Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here.
En fait, je me demande si c'est pas devenu genre un démon.
This is all different.
Ça fait un peu démoniaque, organique,
Yes,
monstre.
precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted. So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return.
J'ai l'impression par contre que cette musique, elle est un peu... genre forte par rapport aux autres. Je ne vais pas partir. Moi, je suis partie sur on va la
Good. We're all on the
tuer.
same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Non, on va la tuer.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now, and you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
Exactement.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight.
En fait, ça fait organique, c'est... Ah.
But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat.
Ouais,
That's horrible.
ouais.
You did this.
Non.
The only
Wow.
furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
Prends la blade.
Take the blade from the pedestal. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. Mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal and the door to the basement. Just tell us where the door is. I'd like to get back to fighting, and if you want us to kill her so bad, I'm sure you feel the same.
C'est vrai qu'on n'a pas eu de chapitre où la l'âme était différente, mais je sais pas si c'est possible.
I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely.
On sait toujours pas d'ailleurs ce miroir. Genre on sait qu'on se voit dans ce miroir, mais on sait pas pourquoi le narrateur le voit pas.
What are you trying to say, exactly?
He thinks we've lost it, that we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
Quoi?
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It's in our way. Let's just smash it.
Allez.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean? Wipe what clean? Are you still on about that mirror? It's not real. I'd know about it if it were real.
Ou alors, il veut cacher le miroir parce que bah, à la fin, on le voit sous forme de bout de miroir qui se brise,
No,
mais c'est
we
bizarre.
can't doubt our eyes like that. It has to be.
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
Go pour la
Do whatever you
violence!
want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Allez, smash
You bring
it!
your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
J'ai peur de l'apparence de la princesse, hein.
Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odour an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour.
Ça se trouve, la tour, c'est la princesse.
Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good.
Ça, c'est vrai.
She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Bah, ça m'étonnerait pas, Pesquet, hein. Genre que la tour soit elle et que genre là on soit à l'intérieur, mais... Oui, alors le jeu par contre, c'est pour ça que normalement il y a un petit warning en début de stream. Le jeu est très trash. Ça va. C'est-à-dire que j'ai vu pire, mais même les descriptions, etc. Mais oui, des fois il se passe des choses un peu violentes, quoi.
Is our fault. If she's an
Et un peu gore.
abomination, then what does that make us?
It doesn't matter what we are. She needs slaying, and we've got the means to do it, so let's get a move on. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important.
Allez.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Oh.
The chamber's walls are painted
Oh.
in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
Elle a le cœur exposé.
The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh.
Je suis presque sûre qu'elle va pas s'arrêter.
And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground,
Ouais.
and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Elle a le cœur exposé, c'est trop facile à viser. Boum, on la tue, fin de l'histoire.
Through that, we can win.
Voilà.
We've done it before, and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
Donc là, tu vois, Pesquet, par exemple, on a énormément de choix. En l'occurrence... Alors, je n'ai qu'une dague. Enfin, une lame primitive. Qui ressemble à une dague. C'est ce que j'ai dans la main, là. Tu le vois un peu avec l'icône. Je vais l'annoncer haut et fort. Je sais pas pourquoi, je me dis que ça va nous donner du courage.
You'll try. And that's what I've been so excited for. Let's hurt each other.
Je vais te tuer.
Your heart free of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow. It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory.
Bah, en tout cas, c'est la lame que j'ai. Mais ça ressemble plus à une petite dague quand tu la vois. Quand tu la vois. Quoi? Pardon pour ce cri, mais je m'y attendais pas.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
Ok, bah l'avantage c'est que c'est fini, mais... On meurt pas là? On a les intestins à l'air.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror. This doesn't feel right. It feels... Screw the mirror. We just... I don't want to look at us.
Ouais, c'est ça, hein, Kéro. Donc là, voilà à quoi on ressemble à peu près. À quelques modifications près. Ça, c'est notre bras, normalement. Et ça, c'est le miroir. Après, ça se trouve, c'est une épée, c'est juste qu'on est très grand, et que du coup, à notre taille, ça fait dague, hein.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Et du coup, pour toi, Pesquet, ceci, ou plus exactement la chose avec les mains, je l'appelle l'entité parce que j'oublie son nom, en fait, elle nous fait redémarrer de zéro à chaque fois. Et elle a besoin de réceptacles, de princesses qu'on mène, voilà, qu'on fait évoluer en fait, pour elle évoluer et se compléter petit à petit. Et on sait pas trop pourquoi, elle sait pas trop pourquoi. En tout cas, tant qu'on n'a pas fini le jeu, parce qu'en fait, on a fini le jeu une fois. Et tant qu'elle n'est pas complète, du coup, elle nous renvoie dans le passé, en effaçant toute notre mémoire. Mais les chemins qu'on a déjà pris, donc qui mènent à des réceptacles qu'elle a déjà reçus, sont bloqués. On ne pourra jamais réavoir ce réceptacle-là. Mais on pourra en avoir des nouveaux. Et en l'occurrence, j'essaye de la construire qu'avec des réceptacles mauvais. Alors, je sais combien il en faut, mais elle répondra en fait qu'elle ne sait pas. Là, j'essaye de la construire qu'avec des réceptacles mauvais et j'essaye de voir si je lui pose pas de questions. Genre, si je fais pas la conversation avec elle, est-ce que son comportement à la fin va être ou pas modifié? Mais en l'occurrence, en fait, quand tu lui poses des questions, elle est très vague. Elle dit qu'elle sait pas vraiment, qu'elle sait pas ce qu'elle fait là, qu'elle sait pas, voilà. Là, en l'occurrence, vu les réponses, parce que j'ai pas fait attention à son dialogue, vu qu'on l'a déjà vu, a priori, il nous reste un dernier réceptacle à avoir et elle sera complète.
The next time I see you,
Voilà.
each of us will finally know what we are.
Et il se trouve qu'a priori, ça me complète d'une certaine manière aussi. On va savoir comment.
I will be here, waiting for you.
And you die. Et de fait, nous recommençons au chapitre 1. Le héros et la princesse.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Alors, pour te donner un peu une idée, Pesquet, on a déjà fini le jeu une fois, ce qui donne lieu à, je crois, 5 ou 6 réceptacles. Du coup, là, on l'a refait, on est vers la fin. Du coup, il y a beaucoup de dialogues qu'on connaît et qu'on skip. Et si jamais t'as du mal à suivre l'histoire, n'hésite pas.
You're here to slay.
Hmm. Je sais même pas ce qu'on peut faire
You
d'autre
make your
comme
way up. She will
méchant chemin. Enfin, méchant.
the blade is
Voilà.
your implement.
Là, tu vois à peu près à quoi ressemble la
If you want
lame.
to do this right.
Pesquet. Du coup, ça fait plus dague, hein, si je puis me permettre. Oh si, je sais ce qu'on peut faire. On peut faire la princesse amoureuse et on la trahit à la première réincarnation. Genre au chapitre 2, on la trahit.
The daughter of her voice
Hello?
is hypnotizing. Don't let it fool.
Oh, je lui dis que je suis là pour la tuer. J'ai pas essayé ça. Hein. Je vais tester.
You must have the wrong address.
Great job. You've given away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay focused.
Hi. You were joking about coming to kill me, right? Do you think you could get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
De toute façon, j'ai pas de couteau, monsieur le narrateur.
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chain. They're large and heavy. Far too...
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's doubtful.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She
Elle
offers
est
the
tarée,
suggestion with
celle-là.
almost complete non. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we were tempted. Is someone else? Your shout. I'll repeat. You tried it. You make your easier for her. Easier.
Allez,
for
on sait ce qu'elle
everyone.
va faire.
Look at the-
I heard the
Attention.
door slam. They locked you down here.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely
Voilà.
hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth as she rips her flesh from her body. It's the blade, or you won't.
Je peux encore la slay. Ouais, mais du coup, ouais, non, je vais la sauver et je vais la tuer le coup d'après.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade you cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and she didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours. How is she still smiling?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't.
Voilà,
have any
le
of
narrateur
the
va pas nous
stakes are
laisser
too
faire.
high. You, as the wait, watch me.
Ah, mais je peux pas la tuer. Bon.
Stop that.
Oh
Some boy's come over
non.
you, hasn't it?
Your body lunges forward. The blade. But stop it. The blade! As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious
Là, le
step
narrateur
forward.
nous contrôle un petit peu.
Both know that
She nervously reaches
Et du
towards
coup,
you and takes the blade from you.
I'm sorry.
She plunges it into your chest,
Elle va nous
tearing
tuer.
flesh and sinew. It is agony.
Oh no.
Stay strong. For her sake. Whatever.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it?
I'm so sorry.
With one, it can't just end. Oh, that's everything goes dark.
And you die. Ok. Donc ça, on connaît. Maintenant,
You're on a path in the
je me
woods.
souviens
You're
plus
here.
si on avait pris la lame directe ou pas.
She will lie. If only. Excuse. Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally. I sure don't pay that.
Je crois qu'on l'avait pas pris, mais en même temps, je vois pas comment on peut la poignarder dans le dos si on l'a pas pris. Du coup, je pense que je vais la prendre quand même. Ou alors on l'avait pris au cas où, je sais plus.
You take the blade from the table. I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
Voilà, on va dire que c'est pour ça, hein. Absolument pas, c'est pour la tuer.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love.
Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. You walk down the stairs and lock
Ok, en
eyes
tout cas,
with the
celle-là, c'est celle qu'on
princess.
connaît.
My love! You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my. Oh, your spirit's plenty.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Elle a même une petite bouche en cœur.
You hear that? She said weird, and she called us. Flattery really goes. Wait, that's right, villain. Well, only because he made. And you've done. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you.
Ouais, donc en gros,
This is horrible.
quand on meurt, vu que la princesse, on est censé la tuer parce qu'elle va mettre fin au monde, quand on meurt, elle met fin au monde dans lequel elle était, et nous, on se réincarne un peu dans un nouveau monde, avec la même princesse qui du coup a jump dans un nouveau monde, et qui va de nouveau le détruire.
Horrible for you, maybe.
C'est pour ça qu'on doit la
But
tuer.
we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Et du coup, maintenant on la slay.
Blade in hand, you run the princess down.
Oh, elle est presque mignonne.
No, you barbarian, what do you think you're doing? But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and press on. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as you approach, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you. Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
crois que c'est la première fois qu'on la tue si facilement.
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not you.
I'm going to die now. I think that's what you want.
And just like that, she's dead. And the world is saved. Thank
Oh
you
non.
for seeing this through. I know it must have been difficult.
Je viens d'avoir un succès. C'est tuer les innocents, genre. Tuer une innocente, le succès. Ah, c'est horrible.
Oh, I feel sick.
Sick. You took part in the murder of the fairest creature that's ever lived. And you merely feel sick. I, for one, am absolutely distraught. Grief-stricken. Inconsolable.
You'll get over it. You just saved everyone.
Get over it. You smarmy ass. There's nothing in the world worth getting over it for. We might as well just end it all.
Ah,
You raise the blade, aiming the point directly towards your heart. Excuse me? No, you absolutely do not do that.
je crois qu'il le fait beaucoup plus tôt. Enfin. Je pense, Kerokan, que ça ne marche que si tu es persuadé de l'étape ressuscité.
Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give ourselves a minute, take a deep breath, and
Rash. The only rash decision we've made was running our cursed blade through her heart. This is far from rash. This is measured. This is the only thing left for us to do now that she's gone.
Hop, désolé, je bouge un peu le micro, je vous rapproche de moi. Du coup, non, je ne veux pas.
exactly, you're not doing this.
J'ai pas envie de mourir quand même.
All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself, and you'll find that they are far more unstiflable. Haven't you? Haven't you all?
I don't believe this. What? What don't you believe? You plunge the blade into your own heart and collapse to the floor. You can't be serious. Why are you helping him? I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry.
That's right. You're all sorry.
Everything goes dark.
And you die. Ok.
You're on
Oh.
a path in the woods.
You horrid monster. Do you think just because we've returned to the woods you've earned my forgiveness? Our beloved had best be alive and well when we return to the cabin, or you'll never know the end of my wrath.
Je pense que c'était la seule voix dans ma tête qu'il fallait pas contredire.
She won't be alive and well when we return to that cabin, because she's dead. We killed her.
You killed her, and so I killed you.
And you clearly didn't do a good enough job. I'm still here.
Techniquement, il était pas là, mais
Oh, and I'm still
vu
here
qu'on
too.
est tous moi.
If you lot get to be blessed with seemingly eternal life, that must mean she's still there, waiting for us to throw ourselves at her feet in remorse.
I doubt it. I think I'm better at killing than you are. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
Quoi?
It's our third. What gave it away?
De toute façon, il n'y croit jamais à la deuxième fois quand on dit qu'on est revenu dans le passé.
Your open discussions.
I couldn't care less what he knows. Every second we stand around arguing in the woods is a second that I'm anxiously worrying about her. Take us to the cabin and take us there now. With each passing moment, our relationship may be damaged even further, though I fear the rift between us may already be permanent.
And if it is permanent, then what? You'll kill us again.
Et il en serait capable.
Oh, you just wait and see.
Est-ce qu'on
My
peut, genre,
vengeance will echo the depths of my bereavement.
J'ai l'impression que sur cette fois-là, on va se faire avoir non pas par la princesse, mais par nous-mêmes.
Don't provoke him. I prefer if we didn't die again. I'm not fond of dying. Why not? You've already done it twice.
Oh pardon, je savais pas que ça faisait du bruit.
It was unpleasant. It was only unpleasant because you think it's supposed to be unpleasant. I'll make you feel what I feel if it's the last thing I do. And mark my words, you won't like it when it happens.
Non, on n'a pas de contrôle sur nos voix intérieures, Pesquet. Mais il y a une princesse qui a déjà réussi à tuer le narrateur. Enfin, pas à le tuer, à le posséder plutôt. À le contrôler, je sais pas trop. Mais nous, non.
Oh,
Enfin,
how exciting.
peut-être
I'd love
que
to
là, on
see
va
you
voir. Hein.
try. Can I? Well, I'm not just going to try. I'm going to actually do it. I'm looking forward to it. Good. I am too. Can I talk now? Yes, I can. Great. Now that you're listening, let me remind you that if you're here in the woods, it means that the princess is not dead and that her very existence currently poses a direct threat to the entire world.
Ouais, on doit aller dans la cabine, hein.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, all right? Oh, we'll muck it up all right. We'll get our happy ending, even if it damns each and every person who's ever lived. Whatever you do, don't let him influence a single decision. He's clearly lost it. I hate that I'm agreeing with him on anything, but I really don't like being at the whims of someone so unstable. It's stressful.
Ouais.
Yes, having all those feelings isn't very productive, is it? But we're just passengers here. Why stress over something you can't control? You're saying that like stress is just something you can turn off.
Lui, il peut.
It is. It's easy. Whatever happens, happens. Are you even alive? What's the point of doing anything if you're not going to feel a single emotion? I don't know. I just exist. And that's fine with me. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
Oui, on sait. Allez.
The interior of the cabin feels dry and brittle. Ancient dust-covered wooden beams hold up a crumbling ceiling like mummified ribs, each elegantly carved detail of the stately building preserved in an extended stasis. Everything here has been kept safe and dry and lifeless. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the dusty wood of the far wall. Is that her? Our beloved. So she does live.
Je n'appellerais pas ça vivre, surtout que je vois le manche de la dague là.
She doesn't look very alive to me.
Ouais.
Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it.
Oh, décidément.
Mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this? Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. Perhaps it's gone because an oh-so-deserved guilt has started to worm its way into each and every one of you. Perhaps all of you do feel just as bad as I about what we've done. Though if you felt the oppressive guilt I feel, we would have manifested that weapon directly into our heart.
Non.
I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
Plutôt d'accord.
You make your way... It's so hazy.
Hop.
It's time for all. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. I see. We are too hideous for even a mirror to behold. We can only hope she might still see some good in us. No way left to go.
Allez, go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an antique staircase lit by weak torchlight. The air here is so stale it practically stands still, as if the very molecules of this place have been fossilized, trapped for eons until your arrival. Even the blaze of the torches can't penetrate the odorless air, as if they'd run out of fuel to burn ages ago, their light still flickering more out of habit than from adhering to a physical reality. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadow. There she is again. My love. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Mais du coup, comment on va la tuer?
As you descend the final
Ah.
step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. No! What foul trickery is this? How can this be? We just saw her alive and well a moment ago, floating away transparently.
Alors, les personnes qui flottent en étant transparentes, généralement, elles sont pas vivantes.
Whatever we saw was a ghost. I thought we were all on the same page. Do try to keep up. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs, clutching a brightly burning torch. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even.
C'est marrant. Je trouve là tout de suite que la torche me fait plus peur que la lame.
Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table. We make amends. She obviously still holds us in her heart. She's bearing a torch for us and everything. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
You came back. I missed you.
Visiblement, elle peut parler.
That angelic voice. I missed you too, my beloved. You sure snapped back to your old self quick. Yes. Seeing her dazzling countenance again has reignited the warmth in my heart. I have found it in me to forgive the sins this body has committed. We can have our perfect romance after all.
Alors, une romance parfaite avec un fantôme, je suis pas sûre qu'on soit dans le parfait. Et pour le coup, j'aimerais bien le tuer, lui, histoire de plus l'entendre, parce que wow.
This is a bad place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
The torch falls from the princess's hand and bounces down the stairs.
It'll be so much better when it's gone.
Elle va mettre le feu.
The skeletal wood of the basement, perfectly dry after uncountable years of desiccation, immediately catches fire. She's trying to kill us. A misplaced escalation of her passions, but clearly she still cares for us. I say we burn with her.
Bah, je suis pas sûre que on puisse la tuer avec une lame, donc rush pour la lame, pas convaincu. Et la porte, elle l'a forcément lock. On va tenter la lame quand même, hein.
As you rush up the stairs towards the princess, the entire cabin erupts into a raging inferno. You push through the flames, trying to ignore the choking hot air filling your lungs. You manage to reach her, your hand wrapping around the hilt of the blade. But the metal is already blistering hot. Your hand sizzles as it melts on contact. You can't so much as pull away, your nerves seizing up as they're fried, the bones of your hand fusing in place around the weapon. The princess, smiling warmly as her skin bubbles away, places her hand on yours and clutches it to her chest.
Je ne savais pas que les fantômes pouvaient brûler. Bah, visiblement, certains peuvent.
The pain is unbearable at first. Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins. But it isn't long before the flames take your nerves, and with them, your ability to feel much of anything. See? That wasn't so bad. It was so bad. But somehow, nothing is so much worse. You'll get used to it.
L'entité finale ou l'entité qui absorbe elle?
There are still the feelings of the heart. Those never go away. Oh, they always do in the end. You just haven't experienced enough. Eventually you'll want them to stop too. You'll make them stop. Trust me. The princess's smile never fades. Her skin peels away, and then her muscle, until all you can see is her charring skull, locked in an eternal grin.
Ah non, parce qu'il est perdu, on va pas mourir.
It's very romantic, really. We got our happy ending after all. We can die happy.
Alors, happy ending, pas ouf, hein. You do not die.
She's gone. And there's that. This. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and ignore the cowards?
Nothing. Et voici donc le narrateur.
I think you know what I am.
Et donc on peut lui poser des questions. Mais théoriquement on lui en a déjà posé pas mal, donc... Du coup...
It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically.
Ok. C'est plus si on lui avait demandé pourquoi il voulait qu'on tue la
Because among
princesse.
other things, she is death itself.
Oui, si je crois.
To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. If that's your belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you can't grasp the abject horror of dying. You haven't. You've flirted with dying. You've played pretend. But your consciousness is an unbroken stream.
they obviously don't. You experience death the way you do by design, and by your unique nature. If you really want to waste valuable time telling me I'm wrong, we both know I'm not, then that's your prerogative.
J'ai envie de continuer. Oh.
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow,
Ouais,
the
on l'avait
capacity
vu.
to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave. It wouldn't work. Her nature as the shifting mound makes it so nothing can last forever as it is now. It wouldn't matter how long the two of you waited. Eventually she would find a way to leave, and then everything would change. Everything would face oblivion. And until then,
Je crois qu'on a déjà fait la majorité de ce qui reste.
I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
On avait dit qu'on l'a tué de toute façon. Mais j'ai pas envie de lui dire.
I've said my piece, and my time is... I'm just an echo, and every echo fades away.
Hop. La cabine. Ah bah, Kero, comme ça tu seras content. Visiblement, on ne voit pas le dernier. Enfin, si, en vrai, on verra pendant la discussion, mais...
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Donc... Hop. Slay the princess.
Silence has always been our language, hasn't it? If this is what it takes to save you, then so be it.
Ah, la voilà.
I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go, faster and faster and faster. I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dry corners of a memory. A home built on all the futures that were supposed to be. Preserved until the moment of reunion. The fire of I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to
Alors, si on veut la buter, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Je sais pas ce que ça fait ça, on n'a jamais testé. Enfin, on n'a pas testé d'ailleurs, on a juste rejeté. On a juste fait notre indépendance en soi. Du coup, j'ai envie de tester ça. Ah. Ah, genre on peut genre se faire pardonner un peu? Ouais, mais non.
What you mistake for lecture is merely observation. You can vainly struggle against me, or you can follow the rhythm of our movement.
Ouf.
Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with? A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that fear it.
En soi, je suis d'accord. Genre, moi, je trouve ça con de la tuer. Mais on avait dit qu'on allait full sur le fait de tuer. Ou alors, on n'a jamais testé ça. Genre de surrender. Genre, on avait testé, je crois, d'être sympa avec elle, mais pas de surrend. Ah, go.
Nothing brings me greater joy.
Bon, ok, c'est pas... Alors, c'est la même chose que juste si on team up dès le départ, quoi. Y a que deux fins.
Everything.
Ok. Bon, maintenant la question. Kéro, toi qui avais regardé un peu les différents genre chemins possibles. Déjà, est-ce que il y en a un qui te semblait intéressant et qu'on n'a pas fait? Et sinon, est-ce que t'as un lien pour qu'on regarde ça en stream et qu'on... Bah, genre juste qu'on jette un œil, quoi. Bah c'est pas grave, je vais chercher. Faut juste que je me relève, du coup. Oh oui. Ah. T'as quand même le lien, ok. Oh là 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 là. Alors. On va baisser un tout petit peu le son. Parce que bon, la musique va juste rester en fond. Et alors, comment je fais pour changer la capture? Normalement comme ça. Et normalement comme ça. J'ai l'impression, hein? Ouais. Donc, on va regarder les choix refuser d'aller à la cabine, ça on l'avait fait. Ça casse tout et après elle a des multiples personnalités là. Voilà. Du coup, lui parler et partir. Ça on l'a vu, le cauchemar. Et la... ça aussi on a vu, mais pas celui-là. Ok. Après, on peut ne pas prendre la lame, et il y a 3 choix possibles. La damsel, on l'a vu. La biste aussi. Ouais, on les a tous faits. Salut, Pesquet. Ah, on en a fait pas mal, en vrai, hein. C'est juste qu'il y en a beaucoup avec des voix différentes, j'ai l'impression. Genre ça donne toujours le même, mais pas la même voix. Du coup, je sais pas si ça donne la même apparence. Peut-être pas, d'ailleurs. Donc, on n'a pas vu The Den. Et sinon, si on prend la lame... on peut la tuer sans vérifier son corps. Et c'est la... Bref. On peut la tuer et give up. La tour, ça on l'avait vu. On a eu la furie. Par contre, on n'a pas eu... ça, je sais pas pourquoi on n'a pas pu la voir. L'apothéosis. Parce que c'est la seule qui existe. On l'a pas fait. Enfin, je crois pas, hein. Du coup, ça me paraît bizarre. Ouais, mais ça, en fait, l'option, elle était bloquée. Je pouvais pas lui résister et me tuer ensuite. Genre, j'avais pas l'option résiste. C'est juste ça que je comprends pas. Ou alors c'est parce que on lui a pas dit qu'elle allait détruire le monde. Mais je pense que c'est bizarre. Le rasoir, il y avait 2... ok, il y avait 2 chapitres différents. Prisonniers ont retrouvé là. Mutual key, d'accord. Ok. En vrai, on en a fait pas mal, hein. De chapitres, en tout cas. Peut-être pas de princesse finale. Mais je trouve que de chapitres, on en a fait pas mal du tout, hein. Il est quoi, 23h40? J'ai quand même envie... ah merde, j'allais changer la page. J'ai quand même envie de genre faire... aller chercher ce apothéosis. Parce que ça me perturbe. Et peut-être... le den. Et Empty Cup, ça m'intéresse aussi. Il est où? Ah oui, t'as raison, ouais. Ouais, on peut aussi. Bon, on va commencer par apothéosis. Alors, hop. Sur le jeu. Alors, c'est là où ça va être compliqué, parce que je n'ai absolument pas de place. Donc on va le mettre là, et si quelqu'un follow, je suis désolée. Ouais, j'avoue, j'avoue. Je sais plus ce que c'est le... non, c'est pas accessibility. Je veux les contrôles. Préférence peut-être? Non. Non. Ah, help. Tab contrôle. Ok. Ok, c'est contrôle. Donc là, pour apothéosis, on prend la blade. Ensuite, il faut qu'on essaye de la tuer et de give up ensuite.
Still listening to reason.
J'ai quand même envie de tenter de dire que du coup, elle va détruire le monde là.
You go into this expecting to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized?
For the love of everything, or drop the blade.
Alors, je suis désolée, il faut absolument que je continue sur ce chemin.
For goodness.
Oh, pas drôle. Bah tant pis, on la slay. Oh merde! Bah, j'ai pas pu give up. Wait. Attends, j'ai pas pu give up. Ah, parce que j'ai pas discuté avec elle.
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
Ok, je vais drop la blade.
What you're hoping to
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Euh... Blablabla. Hop, slay the princess.
charge the prince. She casually sidesteps your thrust. We shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop as you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor. The princess kneels on your throat.
Hmm.
Kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess.
Je sais pas si ça marche, mais normalement ça nous donne la tour, ça.
Is this
She applies.
Oui, on a la tour. Ok. Et donc là, faut full aller en mode on va lui résister. Donc pour lui résister, il nous faut la blade.
As if on command, the blades.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me?
She's right. He's being melodramatic. Well, I'll be damned. The stakes.
Je peux pas passer, c'est marrant. Alors là, il faut que je résiste et que je la tue. Mais pour l'instant, je n'ai pas le choix. Bah, je vais lui dire que je ne vais pas l'aider.
Perhaps you need another lesson in pick.
Tu vois, là, je peux pas. Ah non, mais il y a un problème. Est-ce que c'est genre les dialogues?
You reach forward. This one's okay.
Genre... Il y a un truc que je dois pas avoir, tu vois. Je sais pas si tu vois Kero, mais... Mais ouais, mais je fais les... Ah, tu veux dire les dialogues useless avant?
You can feel a creaking. The princess.
To defy me and take that.
What? You don't? Oh, Will, your hand lifts the blade.
Parce que là...
Throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear.
Ah non, attends, je peux peut-être genre juste me tuer.
Just slay yourself. You're perfectly healthy and capable, and all you have to do is
Mais là, je pouvais pas résister, tu vois.
has to be done. The blade and the hand that wields it
Ouais, mais là, il y avait 3 options.
locked in place and
Il y avait me tuer, résister ou la tuer. Et je pouvais pas résister. Et je vais essayer de me tuer moi.
Look at you, quaking against my will. It's pointless to resist, but you're not the one resisting me, are you? Is that a person? No.
Is that's impossible. She's not supposed to be.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond.
No. What do you?
I don't care what you are.
Ça, on a déjà vu.
You bring the blade to your neck.
Ah.
You slice through soft flesh, severing veins and arteries. Your blood flowing freely down your body. It's a painful lesson in obedience, but the pain won't last forever. No.
When I see you again,
Ok, je pense qu'on est sur le bon chemin.
and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond.
We will.
I know you will.
Everything goes dark.
And you die. Oh, je suis trop basse. Ok, on a le bon chapitre. C'est juste que c'est pas très clair, le résiste et ensuite se tuer.
And at the end of that path.
Oh, let me guess. At the end of that path is a cabin. Excuse me? This is the third time we've been here, and this is hardly a path in the woods. It's all big and weird. Another witness to her radiance. Her hour is soon upon us. I'm here to keep him in check. I'm sick of prying fingers digging around in our head, and he's making it all too easy for them to get in. This is bad. Oh, is it now? I hadn't noticed. Do you need a primer, Mr. Amnesiac? No, I'm quite all right, but if all of you would take a moment to settle down, there's something important I'd like to get across to you before it's too late. Is it about the princess? Not to be trusted, that one. No, I mean, yes, it's about the princess, but whatever you think I'm going to say, it's probably not that. You're not to be trusted either. Look, fine, just out with it already, yeah? But if I hear the words, "You're here to slay her," or "If you don't, it will be the end of the world," you'll have lost speaking privileges. You two are just wasting your time. It's all going to end when we open that cabin door, which means it's already all over. What's the point of dawdling when the end is already written? Okay, that nonsense he's going on about, that's what we need to talk about. You've been here before, obviously.
Là, il va nous dire que faut pas qu'on soit négatif et tout, je parie.
You have met us. Because boy, were you in denial about that last. No, I haven't met you, but reality is clearly falling apart at the moment, and the only reason that would happen is if you knew things you weren't supposed to know.
Ok.
What the hell are you talking about? He's talking about those weird marble trees and how wrong everything. Yes, exactly. Whatever you did before.
Bon, je skip peut-être un peu vite, désolé. Hein.
So you've got to cut it out. Get to that cabin and slay her before things get any more out of hand. We've built a new god, and she is limitless. What are our thoughts doing that? Make her small, make her small, make her small, make her small. Shit! What if I'm doing it wrong? What if I'm making her even stronger?
Moi, j'aimais bien l'idée.
With their runaway thoughts. I'm only giving you the sliver of information I'm giving you now because things are already deep in the shitter. This was my last card to play, and it looks like it's already made things worse. So hurry, cabin, now.
Ok. Run away. Mais non.
But a great and horrible change is already underway. The ground quakes beneath your feet, and you feel an unyielding force pulling at you in your surroundings. The trees start to sway, then crumble, breaking apart as everything is drawn towards the cabin.
Ça.
Even the earth beneath you seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as
Mais du coup, elle est déjà en dehors de la cabine.
The end of everything, the beginning of something new. The moment we open that door, she will be free. Stop believing everything you hear. We just have to get our thoughts in order. We just have to think straight. Any words of warning? You already know everything you need to know.
Ok. À go.
As you step
step
Oh,
forward,
what?
the cabin explodes. Flung backwards, violently slammed into a tree as debris rains down around you.
Pardon, j'avais pas du tout regardé les commentaires, Kero. Mais je sais pas ce qu'elle est, mais elle est too much. Ah! Too much.
In paralyzed awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some vast space as she stands upright to face you. The world bows to her. The ruined landscape shifts, trees and stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
Eh ben, on n'est pas dans la merde.
The little bird has set me free. This is always how it was going to end. And this is always how it was going to begin.
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's now or
Allez, on se bat jusqu'au bout.
I'm with you. A real god wouldn't need us as part of her plan. You'll never make it to her. And even if you do, what could you possibly hope to accomplish?
On s'est coupé des tendons.
We'll do what we were always supposed to. We'll take this blade and we'll sink it into her heart. Look at the way everything's being flung around her. If we just throw ourselves in her direction, I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe none of this is real. Maybe we can do whatever we want to do.
Je suis sûre ça passe.
Forceful tug, you yank the blade out from the tree. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, and for a moment you can feel everything around you, like you're a part of everything. Then your eyes open, settling on your target. It's time.
Go, go, go.
You launch yourself towards the princess. You can feel her gravity envelop you, carrying you from the ground into the violent swirl of her orbit.
Even now you defy me. Do it then. Show me what you think it takes to end what's destined to end everything.
Yeah, do it. Show her.
Allez.
Why do I feel so cold?
On n'a même pas le temps de la tuer.
Oh, she's gone. Is that? I'm bet.
Something finds me.
Ok.
She asks that
Note. Ok, bah stylé, mais un peu déçu qu'on puisse pas la buter en fait. Simplement. C'est un peu dommage. Mais donc on va tester l'autre. Donc l'autre c'est... Ah, l'autre ça risque d'être Enfin ouais. On va essayer de lui parler. Mais pour ça je crois qu'il faut l'arme. On va prendre l'arme.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
We'll be fine. Don't know what you're hoping.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
She hesitates.
You can address me.
Ouais. Ça doit peut-être être ça.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret.
You have to make a choice. I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be...
Slip these chains? She can't. Either way, she dropped her mask. You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You settle in.
Ok.
I could be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Ok.
You're here.
Donc, maintenant, je sais pas trop ce qu'ils entendent par voir sous son masque. Déjà, on va sauvegarder. Comme ça, on pourra revenir là. Et on va tenter.
What are you talking about? You reach. Did he make it go away?
Vas-y, je vais pas prendre la lame.
Should have taken
Si jamais.
I don't think she's going to take an olive branch. We need. You cross over the thresh. More iced. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh light. Her cruel.
I didn't think you'd come.
Ok, je vais lui parler.
A minute ago. She can't be trusted. Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, she could be. Are you really?
Tout ça, on a vu. Je sais vraiment pas, genre. Retourner d'où je viens, je pense pas, si. Ah, ceci dit, retourner d'où je viens, c'est fuir.
You turn back to the
Ah.
stairs, only to find a faintly outlined path.
There you are.
Ouais, j'y ai pensé, Kérokan, et du coup, bah. Visiblement, ça n'a pas marché.
Approaches, your arms quick. This is it, isn't it?
No little knife this time.
There has to be a way out of this.
C'est vrai qu'elle a un masque.
Do.
I wonder.
Your lungs pull in.
Je passe rapidement parce que tout ça, on a vu.
That isn't my fault. Doesn't matter whose fault it is because fighting.
Ah, mais j'avais pas pris non plus l'arme.
Looking. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs,
Ah, je peux run.
nerves, heart.
Si je vais run.
And run, doing your best to put one useless leg in front of the other.
You poor, poor thing.
Nerves.
Wrong choice.
You get nowhere before the princess is in front of you once again.
You're always going to be a coward.
Liver. She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down.
Ah!
You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you.
Je crois qu'on a réussi.
Mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No, 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 no.
Let me out.
Quoi?
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let
reprieve, a good life, love, children, a steady career, recognition from your peers. Here one moment, gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
What?
Let me out!
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out!
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out!
This is all too much. I can't keep going.
You can't keep going? Well, what are you talking about?
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
What? Ah. Je pense que c'est ça, les points d'interrogation, Kiro.
You're on a path in the... Shit. What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing? There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember. You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you? I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out. No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of anything. No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever. I think. We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart? We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us?
To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love.
Je crois que je me sens un peu folle quand j'ai autant de voix dans ma tête.
Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us.
Forcément, c'est à ce moment-là qu'il y a une voix qui dit qu'on est beaucoup. J'adore.
This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here?
Trop. La réponse, c'est trop.
There's nothing worth making sense of. They're clearly all traumatized. And yet, you aren't. We break apart, and you stay the same. Yeah, what's your secret? Why can you break the rules when we can't?
On va aller à la cabine, mais...
I don't care how you feel. You have to slay her. You have to pull yourself together. You have to snap out of it. You're lucky you haven't been stuck here like the rest of them. There's no other way to keep going. You either need to forget, or you need to stop feeling much of anything. He's not wrong. He's the only smart one left, if you ask me. He's worse than her.
J'ai envie de la voir.
You make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been. Instead, all you find is an empty hill. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there. Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it. He is lies. And he always makes it gone. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. You know that as well as I do. She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose. They've been heard too much. Exactly. They are delusions, and all that catering to them will do is drag you down to their level. You have to keep moving.
Je sais pas, Kero. Je sais pas si on va se voir.
You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin. The cabin that isn't there. You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it. Smash it to pieces. She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter what. Proceed. Proceed with. I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific. That's a new one. Do you think it'll work? Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them. And it already has worked. It's gone, don't you see? We're one step closer.
Du coup, non, Kero, on ne s'est pas vu dans le miroir.
The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure therein. Wrong and unsettling as it may be, the only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor, a hint of its shining edge teasing through the sediment. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Take it. It's the only way forward.
Ah mais mince. J'avais baissé le son, je l'ai même pas remonté, je suis trop bête. Excusez-moi. C'est marrant comme c'est gris. En fait, ce qui est grisé, c'est pas forcément ce que j'ai sélectionné, c'est aussi visiblement pour la narration. D'où le fait que le résiste tout à l'heure était grisé, je suppose.
You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. Deep in the bowels of the earth, you see something staring back at you. It fills you with dread. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
There you are. My toy has finally come to finish its job.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
You dragged this out for so much longer than you had to.
Closer
But it was always just a matter of time.
and closer
You were going to have to
Elle est
stop
complètement
running
cassée.
eventually.
and closer.
Everything stops running eventually. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. All that's left is for you to take my will and let me out. It'll be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too. A witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything. Now don't pose. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your power so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a frenzy to get it back.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand.
Elle m'a vraiment modelé, genre j'ai pas le choix.
You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
Rien. Avec toi.
I didn't think I'd be so tired. Why is it so cold?
Et boum.
She's... Yeah, that mirror's... What does that mean for... I'm sure it'll be whisk. Maybe it won't be gone. Doesn't seem like there's much else to... Finally! Oh, you...
What do we say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves.
Bien cette vision. Un peu en mode bah tant pis, on tente et puis voilà quoi.
Yeah. Seems we've got a majority. Something tells me that this is the end of the line. It feels the fears. I'm done fighting. My heart. The game was always going. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the... I'm just ready to... Boys.
Ok.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets whenever you are ready.
Et bah voilà. En vrai, on pourrait en faire d'autres, mais genre par exemple, j'avais pensé à The Den ou Épines là, mais en vrai, ça me va comme ça. Peut-être que je les regarderai sur YouTube ou un truc comme ça pour celles que j'ai pas faites, juste pour voir à quoi ça ressemble. Parce qu'en vrai, genre, c'est sympa que chaque chapitre, chaque décor et tout soit c'est très spécifique finalement. Enfin, c'est toujours une cabine, mais pas vraiment. Des fois c'est des tours, des fois c'est des arbres, des fois c'est rien, des fois c'est tout. Donc je regarderai peut-être pour ceux qui manquent, mais je pense que on a bien fait le tour en soi. Nous. Ça me semble pas mal. Ça fait 2 parties et demie à peu près.
I await you. We will meet again.
Et puis voilà. Mais le jeu était franchement cool. En vrai, je suis grave contente du jeu. Je connaissais pas du tout, forcément. Mais vu que c'était un cadeau, en plus, bah, je l'avais dans ma wishlist, mais voilà. Mais on me l'a recommandé à travers un cadeau, et franchement, non, très très sympa.